Hi Scorpio, welcome to your reading. I did record this before, but I tried to think up some Lilith examples. So I did look some up, and I'm going to link it in the description box, so you can understand what I mean when by okay. So basically, the quick, I guess, intro or disclaimer is that this is a general reading, as I always say. Also, this video this isn't really a disclaimer, just letting you know this video was a bit complicated to make, mostly because everyone has their Liliths in different signs, but also because of getting into that Lilith mindset and being careful not to interpret the messages in the wrong way or give the wrong advice. So I think you understand what I mean if you were to click on I think I'll try to remember to put the link in the description box. But if it is there, if you click on the link, then you may see some examples of Lilith signs, or you can just search it up like Lilith placements, and you may see what I mean by not giving the wrong examples. So for example, if I were to be in a complete Lilith mindset, in a complete message from Lilith mindset with this reading, I could, and this is just an example, I could, for example, say, be careful who you're trusting. Don't give your heart out to everyone, and being careful of those closest to you, especially, or trust. Like this is giving me like the trust no one vibes as well. So if I was like 100% getting into that Lilith mindset, then that would be the message I would be saying as an example. But I don't want what I'm saying to be misinterpreted. That's the other thing. Although that's like, what's the word? Inevitable. Like sometimes things happen and you can't really control it. But still, to avoid too much, so I say negativity. Interesting. So this is a Lilith reading. I'll just, I guess you could say, like, I'll just say what I'm seeing, but I won't try to like piece them together or put too much behind it. So kind of like what I did for Capricorn's reading. So like give the information out and you can take it as you will. Like you can take it, especially based on your own belief systems, your own religion and stuff like that. So I kind of just want to get to it. I don't like long intros. I like getting straight into it before I forget everything I'm going to say. I feel like there's more I was going to say for the intro, just to like clarify everything. So nothing's like, God, what was I going to say? Anyway, so with the Knight of Cups here, oh yes, so this could be, just so you know, this could be past tense, future tense, advice, or just stating what I'm seeing. So I could say, in the future, be careful not to, what's the word? Invest too much of your emotions into something or into someone. So that's an example though. Or I could say in the future, you might invest too much of your emotions into someone. Or I could just say, this is someone who's investing their emotions into someone. So see how I'm wording it differently. But I'm just going to say it the third way. So it's easier for you to interpret it as you will based on your own life and stuff like that. Otherwise, I would be having to clarify myself every time I say something, which would make this reading extra long. So the Knight of Cups, I am seeing here, as I did mention, with the river around, it's the river's stretching far. The river's going like really far, all the way to, I think that's a castle down there as well. Not sure if it's visible. So I do see that as someone who may be not maybe sensitive, but someone who wants others to be, I guess you could say happy or nourished. You could say someone who looks out for other people, or someone who's very empathetic. I feel like would be a better word. Someone who's very empathetic, someone whose emotions doesn't just run through them, but runs for other people as well. So the emotion, let's say everyone has their own river. The river's their emotion, but usually some people keep their river to themselves. But some people's rivers run along deep and far to other people as well, to other countries, to other places, and they, I guess you could say, not exactly attached, but mostly the empathetic or sympathetic sense with this Knight of Cups. For some, it's more about taking from the river, taking from nature. So taking for granted, so taking others for granted or taking the environment for granted. I am seeing with this one, especially because this is a more of a Lilith reading. So maybe taking a few things for granted, or I guess like the way you word things can really change the meaning of them. So it could be taken for granted, or it could be making use of, you know. So making use of in the sense of there's a river there, someone's thirsty, get a cup, get the water, give it, like offer it to that person, or taking advantage of, like there's a river there and take water and just keep taking water. So, but I am seeing someone who's taking water from a river, basically. And because of this, because it is a Lilith reading, I am seeing this in a more taken advantage of. But for some of you, it could be more borrowing from. That's the other challenge I mentioned. So seeing it as a more Lilith reading sense or a more general universe sense. If it was a more general universe sense, I would see this more as generally borrowing, or I guess making use of your environment, especially to help other people. But in the Lilith sense, I do see this more as maybe, I don't know. Let's just say what I say is what I say. What I say is what I'm meant to say. So if I don't say anything, maybe I just wasn't meant to say it. Of the Knight of Cups, I am also seeing someone who has their emotions out there. Like that's the first thing I saw when I saw this card. Someone who has their emotions out there. Now I would say someone who doesn't have anything to hide, but not only because this is a Lilith reading, but because this is at the top of the deck here. So these are cups filled with so many different things. So I do in fact see this as maybe someone who has quite a few things to hide, or they're not showing the full, like they're not showing the full thing. They're showing like you're not seeing what's in the cup, so to say. You're mostly just seeing the cup itself, and there could be anything in the cup. So this is the other reason why I said someone who takes for granted. This could be in a Lilith mindset seen as someone who is maybe greedy, or takes what they want. But there was something about your reading that really intrigued me, because you have, after the Seven of Cups, you have this. I don't want to like ignore these cards and like get on a rant, like get into a rant about the cards that really intrigued me. So, okay, I'll get to that later. Page of Pentacles. Interesting. Like the Knight of Cups, you have someone whose heart, like emotion, cups, heart is out there and visible on display. With the Page of Pentacles, it's a coin that's on display. And not just on display, but like pushed out there. It's almost like she's holding it, almost like she's showcasing something. So for some of you, this is more about just like gloating or showing off. So this is more of a showing off energy. And again, the Lilith is like the part of ourselves we do tend to reject or dislike, or sometimes some people do indulge in these parts of themselves. I guess it depends on the person. Some people may dislike that part of themselves. Some people indulge those parts of themselves. Depends on the person. So I think I just heard someone sneeze from like really far away, like maybe even outside. But anyways, so maybe gossiping as well. You know, like that what you say when someone's talking about you, you sneeze. So similar to Page of Cups, gloating about what you have, and gossiping about what other people have as well. So that could be it for some of you, gossiping. So gossiping or gloating, and gloating sounds a bit like goats as well. So that could be like a strong message for some people. I guess there's that showing off energy in a way. Like displaying your achievements isn't technically a negative thing, but it depends on perspective. So I feel like a lot of things depend on perspective. So again, we're going back to this. So okay, when I first saw this card, I did see this originally as what was it? Knowledge and the desire for money. So for some of you, it's less of gloating, more of I guess here that greed energy again here with the Seven of Cups, Knight of Cups energy, and then with the Pentacles, you know, money, the material, and like what's that word? Like wanting someone, like focusing on things like money and beauty. So those sort of things, focusing on money and beauty. So like I mentioned before, I could say this as like an advice reading, like be careful of those things. But again, everyone's lives are different. Some people like, you know, everyone's life is different. Everyone believes in different things. So it's not exactly, I don't feel like it's 100% my place to say this is good or this is bad, or be careful of this, be careful of that. But also, the other way I could say this is maybe in the future, you may maybe judge someone based on their looks, in the material sense, or you may desire someone for, like, again, I can't be 100% certain with those things, because this is, again, a Lilith reading. So, I don't know. It's a bit complicated. Okay, so back to what I was saying. I do kind of see this sense of with the tree there, there's an energy of nurturing your mind is one way I could put it. Nurturing your mind and fertility with the grass at first, definitely like like fertility kept coming to mind with the grass, and then the river here, and then the grass. So lots of grass, lots of like a tree with obviously lots of flowers budding, so it's very healthy. So that's why for a lot of you, I don't exactly see this as exactly a negative thing. Again, Lilith doesn't have to be like an evil thing. I guess like it's more about your like maybe because it could be that one of these cards is for one person, another one's for someone else. But how I'm also thinking is maybe this is so this could like when I say one person, someone else, I mean one person watching this and someone else watching this. But also maybe it's like someone else, as in someone else who's not watching this. So let's say someone in society or someone in your life, their emotions, their investment in you, nurturing you, and affecting you considerably. So the investment, so I guess you could say relying on other people. So the investment, so because you need water to, grow a tree, to water the tree and water the grass for that fertility. You need earth energy, for the grass to grow here. So that feeling of the things that not just it's not exactly the things they do, it's more of the way they act and the way how they show their emotions and their concern. So especially because the Knight of Cups is usually someone who's offering romance. So this could be, especially in terms of romance, it could be you who tends to invest a lot in your romantic partners, or it could just be friends and family in general. So you put a lot of your energy into them, like maybe spending a lot of money because it's materials, maybe spending a lot of money on them, or giving them a lot of your time, or those are just examples. Or maybe someone else doing that for you. Maybe it's you desiring that from someone else. Could be future energy, could be more advice energy, or could just be like stating stuff. I'm stating what I'm seeing. Um, I don't want this to be too long. Sagittarius' reading was almost 20 minutes. Didn't expect that. Um, so yeah, so nurturing someone, or rather investing into someone, maybe even relying on them, for survival. Relying on them for survival with the tree and the water and the earth energy. It could be something where you work together, because remember, this is nature working together. Could be something where it's heavily dependent on that other person or other thing. And it doesn't have to be a person, it could be something as well. I guess like alcohol, because this is like a liquid. So but I don't know. Could be anything really. Depends on you. Depends on you. Again, because I said everyone's lilith is in different placements. So please, please do take this reading as you like. You will take what resonates, leave what doesn't, and also interpret these cards as you want to. And I'm not leaving off. I still have more to say. I have a lot more to say actually. Two of Swords. When I first saw this card, there was something. Okay, this card especially, Two of Swords. That is energy of indecision, not being able to make a choice, not knowing what to do. And then there's this where you have all these options to choose from. Then after that, you have the Knight. So this is what I was talking about before when I said there was something interesting about your reading, which is Knight of Swords here. So someone holding up a sword. I guess you could say declaring something. So Knight of Swords, Knight of Cups. And at the bottom of the deck, you have the Justice card. So Justice. So I found this card especially really interesting for your reading because of the amount of swords energy that's here. Not just the amount of swords, but the type of swords cards that they are. If it was the Queen of Swords especially, that would be really interesting to see here. So I actually really love this combination. Knight of Swords, someone who's declaring something, someone who goes after what they want, someone who knows what they want, goes for it, and goes for it quick. They're not slow to act. Maybe a bit, I don't want to say irrational, but rush. Is that the right word? Then Justice card, someone who maybe, again, with that energy of, I think, did I give you the example of a queen looking down on someone? I think I did. Maybe it was a different one. I'm not too sure. But that is the energy I'm getting with this Justice card. So putting justice in your own hands. So taking justice with your own hands. There's, I don't want to say God complex, but like a mellowed down God complex. So a God complex that isn't so extreme. So where maybe you take the laws to your own hands, or you're very So this could be future energy. It doesn't have to mean that you are like this. Maybe you step into this energy in the future for a brief moment. Or maybe it's something that you've had at the back of your mind. Maybe it's something you've been dealing with, or it could be past energy as well. There's also this balance. So another thing, the scale she's holding on either side, and then the Two of Swords, like not knowing. So Knight of Swords knows what he wants. Two of Swords she isn't too sure. And the Justice not only knows what they want. Well, you could say the Justice card, like she knows what she wants, but more so she doesn't do things for her own benefit, but for the law, for the natural order of things. Like how I said, it isn't up to me to tell you exactly what to do or what not to do. This card is a bit of the opposite, where I will tell you what to do and what not to do. Where it's I don't think, like, for example, if I were to say it's not right to take advantage of people. So this is the Justice card energy. It's not right to take advantage of people. What you're doing is wrong. It's evil. It's not good. See, evil is another word. Lilith energy is there. So that's also very interesting. It's very hot here. Oh my gosh. Heating's on. Need to turn the heater off next reading. These are actually really fun to do. I wonder what else is under here. So you have the Three of Pentacles, and then after you have the Temperance. So balance again, kind of like the Justice card. So Three of Pentacles is working. So I don't see that just as, okay, normally Three of Pentacles is working for other people. In this deck, it's more working by yourself. And with this working by yourself, I'm seeing this as working with yourself. So again, I'm getting into the advice hat now. So maybe working with, because I was going to say, like, the scales are two different sides. Here is two different sides. So on one side, maybe you have Knight of Swords. On the other side, you have Knight of Cups. Maybe on one side, you have Knight of Swords. On the other side, you have the Page of Pentacles. But working with all of yourself. Oh yeah, by the way, what I said about taking advantage of people, I didn't actually, like, mean it in that sense. Some of you may believe it's not right to take advantage of people. But I'm not going to, like, get involved in that sort of thing. Since, you know, I don't personally feel like it's up to me to tell you whether or not you should be taking it. Well, okay, that sounds so weird. I don't know how to word it. Basically, I don't know the context of your life and stuff like that, or what's going on. Kind of like there's one film I'm watching. It's kind of like one of those moral things where there's a child on a okay, not maybe that's not the right example. Like there's a girl who wants revenge on someone. Person she wants revenge on has a family. Should she take revenge? Or leave that person because they know they have their own family, they have their own children to raise. Let's say, for example, their family really depends on them for money, and that person was working for someone else. When they, I don't know, did something to wrong the little girl, or not little girl, wrong the woman, the girl, the person who wants revenge. That sort of thing. Would you let the girl take revenge, or would you stop her? So it's things like that, where perspective changes everything. That's why I'm trying to be careful in what I say, because perspective can change a lot, and upbringing and stuff like that. So Justice energy is more of implementing your own beliefs and ideals onto other people, and judging other people and stuff like that. Well, this isn't judgment. I do see, again, judging other people, declaring your own stuff. So this is idea of declaring things. Maybe even declaring two different things. Maybe you've been declaring not opposite, but giving someone mixed signals, or maybe giving yourself mixed signals. But again, this is working with all aspects of yourself, and balance. Again, working with all aspects of yourself. I did mention with the tree, relying on this. See, I didn't really see this as exactly like an evil reading, or like a really bad reading. I saw this more as like balance. I saw this reading as this Temperance card, basically, where the water, although it may be seen as relying too much on someone else, but the tree works with the water, and the water works with the tree, that kind of thing. Although I feel like the tree's benefiting more. So it's hard to pin down. But again, balance here. Basically, it's nature doing its thing. So just letting nature run its course is what I'm trying to say. So some of you may disagree with a lot of the things I've been saying, which is completely fine. But again, the cards, I feel like the cards are here likely for a reason. So even if you do disagree with anything I've been saying, like, please do, like, what's the word? Use your own interpretation of the cards. If you do feel that you disagree with everything I've been saying, please do use your own interpretation of these cards. Maybe some of you like I know I'm going too far on this deck, but maybe some of you like I don't want to say take advantage of, but use your looks and appeal. I did mention looks with this. Maybe some of you may be a bit, this card is like very this is typically like short-term relationships. Well, it depends on the other cards surrounding it. But a blast of passion. But I'm gonna leave this, like, because this is going too far into the deck. So put these back. Put this back as well. Although this does go into what I said about looks, because remember, pentacle energy is material energy, the knowledge. So knowledge about other people. So it could be maybe taking advantage of what you know about other people. I don't plan how I put these cards down. I put them down randomly. So with the justice under this card, it could be maybe taking advantage or judging people based on what you know about them. And with this card out of this whole loop and on its own, it could be not uncertainty between some of these aspects. And interesting because it's an even number. You have 2 times 2 is 4. So it could be maybe these 2 and these 2, or these 2 and these 2. But what a pair is on this side and a pair is on this side. Not sure which pair exactly. And this card rushing into things. Maybe there's some impatience, or and this is getting too long. Thank you for watching. I could go on and on and on. Obviously, as I think I've demonstrated a bit too much. I'm going to stop now. This is very fun to do. I did enjoy interpreting these cards, and you can interpret them in your own way. That is completely fine. And thank you for watching. Hopefully this did like give you some insight into something or help in some way. And again, you can take this as a reading, as a advice reading, or as a future reading. I'm not dictating that, just going with the flow, I guess.